Everyone, this is Tom with Fresh Vintage. Today we're doing big PowerStop upgrades to the back of our 2016 Subaru Forester. Check out our other video. We just got done doing the front. You can see that in a different video. But we have our brakes, we have our car, we got our quick jack. Let's get started right now. Taking the lug nuts off here. We're trying to speed run this, sort of, and that is not cooperating. What is going on with this thing? Oh, operator error, never mind. There we go. So, just shouting out, we have a quick jack, and if you've never seen our quick jack video on our other channel, Fresh Vintage Garage, get a little bit better shot of it right there. Really solid unit. If you do not have a quick jack, no worries, just get yourself some floor jacks and some jack stands just to be safe, but you can tell this guy, he's not going anywhere, so definitely check out our other channel, Fresh Vintage Garage. But today we're going to throw some brakes on here, and we're going to start by taking the caliper off and the bolts here. I think those are 14 millimeter, but we're going to grab our ratchet and socket and find out right now. So we have a 14 millimeter gear wrench socket and a 3/8 inch ratchet. So we already broke these free, and what we're going to do is pull these off of here. We have an S hook, and this is kind of just going to hang on the actual coil spring back here. So let me get these bolts out and we'll show you what we're talking about. So we have our bolts out, and here is our piston. We'll just do this, and then we'll hang it right there. Your brake line's nice and happy, and it's not kinked or it's not hanging from the brake line. Then from here, we can pull these guys out, and those feel pretty thin. Let me try and get that out of there. There we go. Yeah, I've seen thinner, but that's pretty thin. So we'll work on getting those pulled out, and then we'll pull the caliper bracket off next. So these are actually 14 millimeter caliper bracket bolts, and I already broke both free. I have that one out, and this one's coming out now, and that just about falls off. So just make sure you make note of where these are at, because you want to replace these with the new metal pieces that come in the PowerStop kit. We'll show you in just a moment. So fast forward to getting the rotor off of here. We have found both in our other video for the front brake rotors and the back one so far, they're kind of like, dare I say, rust welded, but we hit it with some good old-fashioned PB Blaster. If you don't have this, get a can of it. We put it on there, and we started hitting it from the backside. A couple good whacks, and that came right off of there. But here's our old rotor. And so here is the inside. I mean, it's not bad. It's okay, but they definitely needed replaced. I would not recommend those for more than like a few more thousand miles if you had to wear them and use them. So, but this is what our actual brake, emergency brake looks like. They're kind of thin. How often do you even use emergency brake? They look okay for what they are. So we're going to put the new rotor on now. So I just hit the new back side of the brake rotor with some brake clean, just to try to get one more layer of gunk off of there. And you can see I'm kind of touching the front, but I'm going to put this on, and you want to make sure you line up your holes. And curiously, there's holes, there's thread holes for what looks like screws, but we have found on the front too, you can see where there probably would be screws, but I guess Subaru just left them off, because we found that on the same in our other video for the front brakes we did. There's no screws in here, but we'll go ahead and hit this with some brake cleaner, wipe it down. And then the one thing we do have to do that's kind of unique to the back is there's a rubber new piece that comes in the PowerStop kit. So we got to grab that and install that grommet, which probably will be easier putting it on with the rotor off. So you may see us taking this back off of here. So I wanted to mention that the new kit doesn't actually come with this grommet, so we just stole it out of the old rotor. But we have this back on, it's sitting there, and we have our caliper sitting in here. So I'm going to take this old pad and I'm going to set it on the face of that piston. And we had an actual tool to do this, but that tool broke, the handle broke, so we're just going to use this C-clamp. And if you've never done this before, just be, you know, just real relaxed with it. It should go back in. If it feels like it's going in cockeyed or going in hard, then stop, because you may actually have an issue with the caliper. But it should at some point bottom out, and it just bottomed out now. And you can tell, let me grab it off of the hook here. You can tell that it is back in. And this is also a great time to look to see if the surface here is cracked or if you have any wet spots. So I think we're good. And I'm just going to hang this back up for now, because we want to turn our attention back to getting this guy onto the hub. But first we need to pull these off and then put the new ones on from the PowerStop kit. So I'm going to grab those and put them on right now. So quick note, you can see I have the rotor back off, but we put some anti-seize on here just because we plan on having this car for a while, and rust being what it is, it actually kind of rust welded almost that hub right there. It's not an actual one-piece unit. It's not like it's two pieces that are welded together. It actually just stuck. So some anti-seize will help with that. Now we have our new shiny pieces on here, and we're going to throw some anti-seize on our 14 millimeters. Not much, because as you run those in, there we go. As you run those in, it will just spread that around naturally. So let's see if we can't mount this on here. And then from there, we'll work on getting the caliper back on here after we put the brake pads on. Look at that. That one in real easy and smooth. And we'll put this one in. Then we'll put the brakes on next. So we have ourselves an Icon torque wrench. Really solid unit. Big shout out to them for sending it over here. Really nice unit. And we do have this running through a 1/2 inch to 3/8 because we don't have a 1/2 inch drive 14 millimeter socket. But we're going to set this to 48.7 foot-pounds. And I'm going to do my best to reach under here, and I'll do this while we're recording. There we go. Let's make sure that's on there good and solid. 48.7 isn't too much, given how long this thing is, but you're also fighting a wheel well, so you may have a little bit of a tight area to work with. But there we go. And I'll just hit this bottom one again just to be double sure. There we go. Ooh, that one went a little bit more, so I'm going to hit the top one again just. There we go. Perfect. So what I've done is actually put a little tiny bit of grease here, and I've greased all 4 corners, so to speak. Now we need our new brakes, and forgive me, they're kind of stuck, buried down here, but what you want to do is look at the brakes. So you want to determine where the piston side was. So your piston side's here, and so that means this side was over here. So you can take your new brakes and actually match them up, because you can see that's the wrong one. That's for the other side. And so we want this pad, which is, I'm assuming, oh, so this pad goes right here, and so I just have to find the other one, but we'll get those installed right now. So these went in way too easy, not to jinx myself, but the front ones, they took a little bit more effort because it's just everything's bigger and there's more like material and metal and stuff in the way, but those popped right in there. So we're going to grab our caliper here, and if you don't have one of these, we'll leave the link for this in the video description. Real easy, slide this on here. You want to push these in a little bit, and it should be pretty snug. If it's just fighting you, then you probably want to stop because something's not 100% lined up or something's not perfect. And I put a lot of anti-seize on that one, so I'm just going to kind of steal a little bit. There we go. And these should line up pretty easily. Back brakes always seem to be either much more rusted up because the salt normally gets to the back of the car more than the front of the car per se, or they're much simpler and easier. And in this case, everything seems to be really solid. That's turning. So we're going to torque these down, get the torque spec, and we'll torque them down. And then from there, we should be done. We'll throw the wheel back on. So real quick, wanted to mention, big shout out to Icon for sending over the torque wrench. It only goes down to 40 foot-pounds, and these are only 19 foot-pounds for the caliper bolts. So we're just going to torque them down to a torque spec of tight, so to speak. And from there, we're going to throw the wheel on, and then we're going to jump over to the passenger side. We're not going to show you the passenger side unless there's something quirky or odd that comes up. But it's basically rinse and repeat of this side, and then we'll come back to you at the end of the video. All right, so now that we have the wheel on there, we did put some anti-seize in the lug nuts. Just go ahead and crank these down as hard as you can get them. Make sure you go in a circle so they're nice and tight. And I'm joking, absolutely do not do that. I just described how Walmart TLE employees do your actual torque at their shops there. But for what you want to do at your house is you actually want to get yourself a torque stick. And if you don't own one of these, we'll leave a link for these in the video description. This is 90 foot-pounds, and it only allows 90 foot-pounds of torque at the actual socket. So these need 89.7 or 89 or something like that. So 90 is pretty darn close. So I'm just going to kind of hold this. And I'm going to go around once just to kind of snug them. Then I'm going to hit them a little bit harder. Yeah. Now, I would say that should be good, but once we have the car back down, before we actually take this for a test drive and set the brakes, we'll hit them with the Icon torque wrench to make sure they're exactly at 89 to 90 foot-pounds. So we're going to jump over to the passenger side. We're not going to show you that, but we're going to tear it all apart. It's the exact rinse and repeat of what you see here. All right, we have our tires back on. We got the lug nuts torqued down. We hit the brake pedal a few times with the car off, and the brakes seem good. Everything's spinning and rotating. Nothing sounds bad. So big shout out, huge props to QuickJack for sending this over. Really, really awesome unit. If you've never heard of the QuickJack series, check out our video on our channel, Fresh Vintage Garage. This is an ALI certification sticker. That is not easy to get, and it's a testament to how much work QuickJack and the parent company of QuickJack, Benpack, the research and development and the money they spent to get this thing and engineer it so that we get that ALI certification. If you need to up your game as far as a DIYer and you're looking for a quick lift like this, they call it QuickJack for a reason. This thing is indispensable for, you know, situations and work like this. So definitely go check that out on our other channel, Fresh Vintage Garage. We're going to clean up our mess, but now that we have our PowerStop brakes on, you too can be a certified Fresh Vintage mechanic. We appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. And if you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like keeping your cars certified fresh and on the road, Fresh Vintage, your channel, please like and subscribe, and have a good one.